Hello, it's me again. Thanks for letting me be part of your evening. Tonight, I thought we could just sit together for a while. Not do much, really. Just talk a little about, well, whatever comes up. You don't need to do anything. Just lie there, let the blankets do the work. I'll talk quietly, and you can drift off whenever you'd like. No pressure. I'll still be here. Let's begin with trees. You probably passed by one today. Maybe you didn't notice it, or maybe you did and thought, that's a good one. There's something reassuring about a tree that's been standing in the same spot for longer than you've been alive. There's a spruce tree in Sweden, Old Chico, that's been living for about 9,500 years. That's older than the wheel, older than written language. It doesn't look especially ancient though, just a small, scraggly tree on a snowy hill. But its roots, those go back to before the pyramids, before calendars. That's pretty wild. Trees don't need much. A bit of soil, some light, some time. They're not in a hurry. I read once that trees can talk to each other, not with words of course, but through the ground, through fungi mostly. They share nutrients, warnings, even comfort. An older tree will send sugar through its roots to feed a younger one nearby if it needs help. It's like a neighborhood underground. That's called the Wood Wide Web. Not a joke. That's the real term. Kind of makes you want to say thank you next time you lean on one.
Everything in this world is made up of matter, and those matters behave with each other in certain ways. And that, students, is chemistry.
Anyway, the wind picks up at night sometimes. It's cooler than during the day, but it's softer too. Less showy. Like it's not trying to impress anyone, just moving things around a little. You ever notice how a breeze at night feels different? Like it knows something you don't, but it's too polite to say anything. Just brushes past your window and keeps going. In Antarctica, there's a kind of wind called the katabatic wind. It rushes downhill from high elevations, picking up speed as it goes. It's cold, very cold, but very strong. Sometimes over 100 miles per hour. But it's not angry, it's just physics. Weather doesn't take things personally. I don't really like the wind. Not the kind that flings your hair into your mouth or sneaks gritty little pieces of sand into your eyes when you're just trying to enjoy the beach. It's a bit much sometimes. But strangely, I do like wind farms. Maybe it's the contrast. Out in the countryside, when you're driving along a quiet road and the land stretches out like a soft, faded quilt, they start to appear. Those enormous white turbines, turning slowly and steadily like they've got all the time in the world. There's something about them. They don't shout, they don't flash or buzz. They just move, over and over, smoothly, calmly, like a big hand of a gentle clock, keeping track of something older than minutes. From a distance, they look like sculptures, silent ones, spread across hills and fields, spinning quietly for no one in particular. Sometimes there's mist, or the late sun catches on the blades, casting long shadows across golden grass. It can feel like you're passing through a dream someone else had long ago, and it just kept running. You don't hear them from the car, just see them turning, one after another, the same rhythm repeating like a lullaby in motion. A reminder that not all movement has to be fast, that energy can come from stillness, and that even the wind, unruly as it is, can be harnessed for something gentle. So maybe I don't mind the wind quite as much. Spring is nice, really nice. I know that's not very poetic, but sometimes it's the simple descriptions that feel the truest. Spring is just nice. The flowers poke their heads up like they're checking to see if it's safe yet. You want to reassure them, yes, it is. The snow's gone, the ground's soft again, and the sun feels less like a cold flashlight and more like a warm hand on your shoulder. The birds come back too. They don't make a big announcement or anything. They just start showing up. One day, you're walking to get the mail and you hear that specific chirp that sounds like someone testing out a flute they haven't played since high school. You think, they're back. And then, for the next few weeks, it's like every tree is hosting a little reunion. Sometimes I walk through neighborhoods where people plant cherry blossom trees along the sidewalk. I like to time it just right so that a breeze kicks up and the petals fall gently around me. It feels like being in a very soft parade where the only guest of honor is just whoever happens to be walking by. Which is usually me and one guy jogging with headphones and a dog that's a little too excited to be alive. Spring is also when the air smells clean again. It smells like rain and mud and grass and something else you can't quite name. It's like the earth just finished washing its face. But also, the sneezing. The hay fever shows up like an uninvited guest who always wears too much cologne and doesn't knock. One day you're enjoying the daffodils, and the next your nose is leading a rebellion. I keep tissue in every coat pocket now, just in case. It's my version of seasonal armor. Still, even when I'm sneezing so hard it startles my neighbor's cat, I love spring, because everything is trying. The trees, the birds, the grass, even the sky. It all feels like a fresh start. Like the world had a nap, drank some water, and is now ready to try again. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I think about Japan. Not for any big reason, just because it's nice to picture. It's far away, but in the quiet of night, distance doesn't matter all that much. You can visit places in your mind without packing anything. No suitcase, just a little curiosity. I imagine walking through a small street in Kyoto at dawn. The air's cool. You can hear the soft slap of someone's broom on stone steps. It's peaceful in a way that cities usually aren't. There's a tiny shop, barely wider than a closet, where a man is making breakfast. Steam curls up from a pot of miso soup. He hums a little, off-key, but content. And you think, maybe this is all morning needs to be. Japan is good at small things. Not unimportant, just small. Folded paper, a neatly tied knot, a garden with exactly 3 stones, placed just right. Even the trains feel polite. They glide more than they move. Sometimes they play a short, happy melody when the doors open. Just a few notes. Like they're saying hello, but don't want to be a bother. In spring, the cherry blossoms bloom. Not forever, just for a week or 2. But people still gather under them, eating rice balls and laughing softly. It's a whole tradition called hanami, flower viewing. But it's really more about time, about noticing something while it's still there. Later, maybe you visit a hot spring. You sit very still, your body disappearing into the warm water while snow falls quietly on dark rocks. You feel the heat rise up into your bones. It's a silence so complete, it almost hums. And if you're lucky, maybe you'll see a cat on a temple roof. Not doing anything, just being a cat. And they seem to like it there. I imagine that's why I think about Japan when I can't sleep. Because it feels like a place where quiet is taken seriously. Where even a bowl of noodles can feel like an event. And where the day doesn't rush to get away from itself. So if your thoughts are bouncing around tonight, maybe picture a calm street in Japan. Somewhere with lanterns and the slow, warm sound of water over stone. Just stay there for a while. There's no need to hurry. It'll still be there in the morning.